I was looking at a program on C-SPAN today with the governor of California, and he made the same comment in reference to when they play dirty or whatever methodology that is being used to nullify your, to put you in a lower class or nullify your rights to democracy, then when they change, we change. He didn't quite say it that way, but I've been saying this for the last couple of weeks. That meant going offensive and defensive. Mm-hmm. So I talked to a colleague of mine about an hour ago in the southern states that are redrawing their maps. And my slogan is follow the money from A to Z. Mm-hmm. So the NAACP is requesting that the athletes who are participating in the different programs that the universities and local colleges are dealing with, mm-hmm. that have TV ratings, TV contracts, etc., for them to not boycott, for them not to play in those particular places, and find schools that will accept them and not try to take away their rights. That's going back to when I suggested that when they change, we change. And can you imagine that if they stop playing, like for instance, one of the major universities, the athletes help fund primarily all the different departments. And what was said on one of the YouTube programs is that the marching band don't generate that kind of money. Most of the kind of programs that the university have are deriving from economics from the sports arena. Mm-hmm. And I was listening to a program also where it was being hosted by a black person, and she was saying that's a lot of pressure to put on the black athletes for them because some of them have been guaranteed X amount of dollars. And those of us, and I'm not speaking for the NAACP, let me make that clear, mm-hmm. but we're recognizing that the fight has always been hard and the sacrifice has always been required. So this is why we're suggesting getting where you fit in and whatever powers that you can exact, then we should do so because they're not only changing the map, that means that they're diminishing your rights. Mm-hmm. So you as an individual of color, believing that you're making a couple of dollars is going to liberate you and help you have the better things of life, you're actually helping you dissipate do away with your own civil rights, and the democracy is also putting you back into some form of slavery. So we have to fight where we can and help change this and make sure that we're no longer on the economic power bottom. So those are the things that I think we ought to be discussing whenever we're in the room with each other, especially when we're with our politicians, with anybody of power. I was at an Urban League affair here a couple of days ago, and I've also been in the room where the Speaker of the House of Springfield came out with a chant, when we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. So we're now changing, and I'm also giving credit to one of the people on TV today, is when they change, we change.
Okay.
And we have to learn how to do now offense and defense. And I really appreciate the NAACP now stepping up to encourage the young athletes that they must find another way to become successful in different locations where they're not trying to take away their rights. I was also listening to one of the people that reminded me that when Michael Jordan, I don't want to bust him out, but they were talking about the difference between one of the star athletes today, which is Wimbledon, I can't pronounce his name, but the Canadian basketball star, mm-hmm. how he answered the question about speaking up in reference to the things that are not positive for the black community. He didn't say black community, he just mentioned the fact that he sees the inequities, that how he responded, and then the difference between how Michael Jordan responded. And when they were talking to Michael Jordan about coming out politically, he mentioned that the white people would be by gym shoes too, so he didn't take no position. And he was putting him on a pedestal. And just like with Tiger Woods, we're talking about when he said he's not black, he's carbonation. And we put him on a pedestal. So it's time for us to stop putting, what's a good word to say, putting
athletes,
different people who, not just athletes, I know other people from other industries, different people who don't have our interests, then we need to make sure that we do not give them the fodder and the recognition from us because they're not looking out for us. So that's my statement for this day. I have more another day. Thank you for listening.